evening, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever it is, wherever the hell you are, and welcome to Friday Night Six Pack, the funnest show on the internet, I promise. So if you're here for the first time, you've made a very, very good life choice. Congratulations and welcome. So basically today or tonight, this confuses me, this whole time zone thing, it confuses me sometimes.
Just go with Australia.
I'm just going to go with tonight. Because people will be watching it in the future, I'm sure. I mean, for us in Australia, we're in the future, but we'll call it tonight. So tonight is going to be a bit of a chilled out one. We're not going to try and tackle anything too serious. We are going to drink. There's definitely going to be some drinking. We're all in for that. So, and we're just going to kind of talk about things that we're doing to get us through the boredom that we've all had to suffer. Which is kind of going to be redundant because actually, as of today, where I live, some of those restrictions are being lifted, so go us. So I'll introduce everyone. So we have, as always, and I've got to look on the live stream to see who's where. So next to me, we've got Sam, the famous vagrant Sam. How are you, my friend?
Good, how are you?
Right, fantastic.
I'm getting a few restrictions lifted myself this weekend as well, so I'll see the sunshine tomorrow, which will be nice.
Oh, look out. You won't know what to do. Be careful you don't melt.
I've got a few ideas. No, it's nice and cool.
You're looking a bit pale there, mate. It's...
That's my new fancy light, I think. I'll have to change the colour balance.
Fair enough. Amanda, Mama Atheist, how is it all going?
It's pretty good. Been a relatively chill week, except Angel flipped a golf cart. So, well, no, he was in a golf cart that was flipped. So that was a little bit upsetting. I don't know.
Is that what he told you, or do you think he might have flipped it?
It's actually, now that I think about it, you're probably right. I don't know. But I sent a picture of his arm all tore up. If you saw it, yeah, that was fun.
Good fun. It's what we call workers' comp in Australia. It's where you get a bit of time off and you don't have to go to work. Next, so I'm going to keep going around. So it's good because I've sort of got the screen here that I'm looking at, watching everyone live, and then the one that you're jumping the gun there. You're jumping the gun. Jumping the gun, sorry.
I got excited. I just tried it for the first time.
Bobby Mack. So my good mate Bobby Mack, the best mate. How are you, brother?
I'm good, mate. I'm very good. We keep them nice and busy. Then it's good we can actually a bit more restrictions have been lifted now, so we're all good. A little bit better, which is nice.
I was going to say, I'm thinking that there could be a catch-up in the next couple of days.
It's sounding like it, mate. It's sounding like it.
Thinking so. Well, I've got plenty of beer in the fridge, mate, and I've got a Gordon Ramsay cookbook, so
you're good to go.
So, Bobby Mack's first time on Six Pack. Bobby has been on the channel before. We're not going to get into it tonight, but Bobby is my favourite flat earther. That's all I'm going to say on that topic, and I'm looking forward to him and Jay having conversations on conspiracies at some point. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Be gentle. Be gentle with me tonight. It's my first time, so be gentle.
No, we're going to break you in hard. There's no mercy.
No lube. No lube.
Oh my God.
Can I say that?
Well, you just did, so it doesn't matter.
Well, at least it wasn't me who brought the channel down.
Damn it, Jen.
You still
don't say anything.
You give a few rules, but Jen, how are you, Jen? What's going on?
I'm goodly, yeah. Been really good actually. Been keeping myself pretty busy with lots of variant. That's great. Wonderful language English. Too bad I haven't mastered it.
It's Friday night where we are, so you're allowed to.
Yeah, and I've already started drinking, so that's my excuse. Yeah, I got a few things on. I've got a big discussion panel tomorrow about history of feminism, which is not going to be controversial at all. It's hopefully
controversial topic.
There was an interview I did with Godless Granny that she's putting out in the wee small hours of the morning, so I won't catch it live, but hopefully other people will. And on Sunday, I'm on Vandalia's channel, so that should be interesting.
Have you been on Vandalia's before?
I haven't. I've had Vandalia on one of my streams before, but I haven't been on Vandalia's yet, so this will be my first time.
Vandalia's getting all the Aussies at the moment, so I don't know if Vandalia's in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know how he's persuading us to get up that early in the morning.
Oh, see, no, I got him to do it at a good time.
Oh, I've got mine's at 6 o'clock in the morning for me. So,
It would have been similar.
and given that tomorrow morning's one's at 7 o'clock in the morning for me, I've got an early weekend all round. So,
you got Monday off, though, right?
well, I've got no work at the moment because yeah, my industry's basically shut down. So, I've had like 4 or 5 jobs to do in the last month and a half. So, yeah,
excellent. Good fun. And of course, last and certainly not least, I was just saying it's been about a month since we've been on a stream together. So I kind of, it's like it's seeing a long lost friend. Jay, how the hell are you, my friend?
I'm good.
I think the last time we were on a stream together was probably the Great Monty Python debate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
because right after that, I got sick and
yeah,
and then went back to work and
All fun. But you're here now, and everyone sounds healthy. That's what I'm saying. Everyone sounds really good,
Well, sort of.
except for my dad.
No, yeah.
Smokers' coughs don't count.
No, not at all. No.
Yeah, a big hello to everyone in the chat. Scummer, good to see you, mate. I will answer your question in a second because that is something funny I will bring up. Art, always good to see you. Anyone who hasn't, have you guys seen Art's song he put out today?
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Oh, it's sensational. It's the John Richards dubstep. It is. It's brilliant.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. I'd recommend. We'll get the link in later, but definitely everyone needs to see that. Math Pig, of course, good to see you. Math Pig is producing for me tonight. You're a legend, mate. You're a legend. And of course, Math Pig's here because Mrs. Math Pig's here, but we won't sort of say that. And by Mrs. Math Pig, of course, I mean Vagrant Sam. Sorry, Manda, we were going to tell you, but
I know. It always takes a second to say them.
Yeah, Gary, good to see you in the chat as well. And everyone I've missed. Oh, Dave's in the chat, of course. How could I miss Dave? In fact, Dave wasn't first. Jane was first, but Dave was about fourth. So that's different. Okay, what are we all drinking?
Oh my god! Like I only bought it today. I literally just had my first sip. Like I literally just had my first sip as we were sitting down and started. So one of the local breweries, they've put out a Creature of the Night is the name of this particular beer. It is a peanut butter stout with undertones of peanut brittle and marshmallows, and it is fucking amazing. I'm upset that I've gone halves with my wife, so she gets 2 of them. But I might need to go and find some more tomorrow when they open up.
I actually had a
limited edition, so it's going to be hard to get.
I'm not going to say what that sounds like to me because, no.
I found a trick with stouts. Do you know with a stout, you have it in a cognac glass and it breathes it better and the flavors come through. Sensational. I had a chocolate and vanilla one earlier and it was next level good.
I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah, 100%. Jen, what are you drinking?
Blue Curacao. Yeah, I showed it. Blue Curacao. I'm not picking it up again.
Oh, you need some Midori and some vodka, and you can have.
I have some Midori as well, but no, and vodka. We stocked up on alcohol.
You're one of those people.
No, I didn't buy more than we were allowed to, but we made sure that we had enough that if there became a problem with getting out and getting it, we had it. So I wanted enough so that I'd have enough for all the 6-packs in the future.
Okay, well that's thoughtful. You're thinking of 6-pack.
Yeah. So I got plenty of alcohol, but I'm drinking Midori and lemonade. So
okay, well that's all right. What are you drinking, Bobby?
I'm on it's called a Bluey.
I'm Midori.
I'm having a Bluey.
What's a Bluey?
What's a Bluey?
It's just a lager. It's not anything too fancy. It was just cheap and it was just there, so I just grabbed it. I'm not really too fancy with my alcohol. I'm Scottish, so as long as it's got a semi-decent percentage and it tastes all right, I'm fine with that. So
you're aware that's the Australian way too for most Australians.
So I've been here for 13 years, so I'm fitting in quite well. So I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have found it hard at all.
No. He likes the expensive drinks. He's got a good palate for it. He just doesn't like paying for them. That's
no. I'm Scottish, mate.
Exactly.
Right,
Jay,
everybody knows that.
What are you drinking, Jay?
I'm drinking tea, and I've also got a glass of St. Brendan's Irish cream.
Okay.
Just the straight Irish cream.
Yep.
Let me see it.
With a tea chaser.
How much? Okay, that's not too awful. Is there at least ice in it or anything?
No.
Why would you water it down?
It's
Yeah.
-2. He's had out in the front porch for half an hour.
No watering down.
Amanda, what are you drinking? What are you drinking at 7:30 in the morning?
Coke.
With
That's it.
Nice.
But I have some herbal refreshment elsewhere. So yeah. It's
So it's a virgin rum and coke.
Refreshment.
I don't know what you could possibly be talking about.
I have no idea. So
A Coke and a cane.
Well, I'm having it's a beer farm. It's called. It's actually a Western Australian beer. So it's so I don't know. It's probably close to you there, Jen. It's from somewhere called Metricup, which sounds like a really interesting place.
I have no idea where that is.
Well, that's where the deer farm is, so it's definitely
Cool.
worth going to.
I'll have to find out about that. Not that I like beer, but yeah. I know you don't want us to talk about. Well, that looks pretty. I know you don't want us to talk about flat Earth, but this isn't really talking about it. I just want to say it's refreshing to have a flat earther who doesn't think Australia is illusionary.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's gonna. I'm just. There's a lot of things I could say, and I'm not going to. We're just going to drop it.
I was being nice.
No, it's not. No, it's just not. It's for everyone's sake. It's for everyone's sake. So,
Yeah.
and look, it's literally like tonight is about having a bit of fun, having a bit of a laugh. It's not about getting in serious conversations and belting our head against walls. And I mean, we're just going to get drunk together.
Pretty much.
Naturally. It's all good.
So those politicians, right?
Social distancing, drinking at its finest.
Now, speaking of
What about this app, Sam?
Seriously, anyone who is Australian, if you haven't downloaded the app, you are an idiot.
Oh,
Them's fighting words, Chris. Them is fighting words.
Them's are fighting words.
Seriously, as a programmer, I have serious reservations about this app.
What is it?
I don't like it.
It's
Yeah,
I'm
Like,
gonna
track your interactions with other people.
Too much going on. I can't hear.
Okay. I know. Sorry.
So, all right. So what it is? So it's an app. It's called the. I'm not going to say it because it'll do strange things to YouTube. But that C word safe app. So what it does is it tracks your movements, and anyone else who's got the app, if you come within like a certain distance, it'll just log that you've been within a distance. But then if someone actually gets the C word virus, what it does is they upload, and anyone that they've been in proximity to gets an alert to go and get tested.
I'll clarify one thing, and I know it's probably not something you intended, Chris, but it can be interpreted that way. It doesn't actually track your movements. All it does is collect. So if someone else is within Bluetooth range, it will ping and it will exchange your encrypted ID. So it doesn't actually require your name or address or anything. It just requires your mobile number, and your name or pseudonym is fine. And whenever it's within Bluetooth range with someone, it will just say, hey, you've been in contact with this ID number on this date. And then if anyone that you've been in contact with gets tested and found to be positive, they will then use those details to contact you to say, hey, you've been in contact, you need to go get tested. The idea is that they can contact trace really effectively and really quickly, so they can stop any like big upticks in the virus when they do start to relax the restrictions as of today.
Yeah.
Now, I agree that that's an absolutely brilliant idea. My problem is governments are inherently bad at implementation, and software companies inherently release program code with bugs in it. And this has been not forced on people, but it's been highly encouraged with the carrot. So, and I don't like the way it's being encouraged either. Saying the more of you who download this, the quicker we're going to lift restrictions is just a ridiculous promise to make.
From a pragmatic sense, though, Jen, how would you not do that? Like the point of the app is to make it so we can go out more readily and safely, knowing that we can control a further outbreak. Like without just saying that, Like, what's the alternative? Like, to me, it doesn't seem like it's manipulative. It's just, well, here's a way we can get to a safer way.
I don't know that it's actually meant manipulative, but it comes off that way.
Yeah.
I have issues with, like I said, my biggest issues are as a programmer, releasing something this quickly without good testing and development time is inherently going to release problems, especially when they're looking at releasing the full source code in 2 weeks. I mean, that's just asking for some hacker to manipulate the system. And they will. If it's possible, they will. And that truly concerns me. It's, it's hard to gauge because we don't know how the software is written, but I have major concerns on anything like this being released this quickly. I know it's needed this quickly and we don't have any real choice in that, but I think it's the world I have huge concerns about it.
I've given more details to like silly little mobile games for less benefit. So, yeah.
Oh no, I thoroughly agree, and I don't have a problem as long as we don't go from carrot to stick. If it starts becoming a requirement for people, then I have a huge issue.
I can tell you, it won't become a requirement. But it's interesting what Sam said, and it's funny. A lot of the people who I've seen complaining about it, especially on Facebook seems to be the conspiracy realm at the moment. And there was one that really cracked me up, and it was someone that said he had this thing out that said that if you download the app, the government's going to get your information. They'll have access to your tax file number. I'm just like,
the government has access to your tax file number.
The government, gives you your tax
for
file.
Our American friends, it's like saying the government.
In all honesty, anybody who's worried about the government tracking you, you're an idiot, because the government can. If the government wants to track you, if police forces want to track you, if they need to track you, they can track you. Every time you use your bank account, they can get permission to track your mobile phone between towers if they need to. These are things that governments can do. Law enforcement can do if it's required. So from the point of view of government having access to you, I don't have a problem. What I have a problem with is you're pinging and sending data between apps and people. It'd be simple enough to write an app that does that pinging and grabs data depending on what's actually being sent. I know we'll be told what's being sent, but the app itself is not being written by the government. It's been outsourced, and that's inherently people taking, especially when you rushed to write code, people taking the slack, because they will. You'll take the easiest path to write this code, and that may not have resulted in the safest code out there. And that is a concern, and as a programmer, I have that concern. Otherwise, I have no concern at all. The fact that the government's doing this is actually a good thing.
Yeah, I think it would still be worth the risk regardless. So, now, one thing I do want to have I guess we're going to move from Australian politics to American politics. I had a bit of fun with a video yesterday. Someone brought it up in the chat. So I decided yesterday that I was going to put out a video because I don't know about the rest of you non-Americans here. All Aussies. I mean, Bobby Mac, you're an Aussie. Realistically, you just talk a little bit funny. Yeah. He puts it on when he needs to. So I don't know about you guys and girls. I always get smashed with American politics and people wanting to engage me in conversations. And it was funny. I had someone who sort of was doing the whole, you've got to vote for Biden. So I know Bernie's out, but you've got to vote for Biden. I said, well, I can't. And then got abused thoroughly. Like, no, I'm Australian. I can't. And still managed to get abused. I'm like, okay, no worries. So I thought I'd have a bit of fun with it. And I put out a video yesterday, which was simply titled, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. Here's why. Man, some of the messages I've gotten today, it has just been so entertaining. Like, Americans, I love you guys. Like, seriously. But, Jesus.
It's still insulting a little bit.
Hey?
Apparently Jesse Ventura is running.
He is?
Yeah.
So you know
the body Ventura.
That means there'll be 2 WWE Hall of Fame.
I hadn't heard Jesse was running.
Yeah, he's running as a Greens candidate, apparently.
A Greens candidate? Jesse Ventura?
Yeah, have a Green Party.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it said. Yeah, I think it's probably bullshit, but it looked interesting. I was going, yeah, I'd vote Jesse Ventura if I was American.
Wrestling and politics are very similar, though.
He got in Minnesota. Was it Minnesota?
Yeah.
Jay, you can probably answer that one.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Minnesota.
Yeah. Because that's near where you are, isn't it? That way.
Yeah, it's like across the lake and then one state over. Cool. Yeah, Jesse Ventura to test the waters on Green Party run for president.
Yeah, there you go.
So no more Stein. There you go.
So there you go. You don't have to vote for Biden if you don't want to, but if you split the Democrat votes, then you're in for 4 more years of Trump.
It's 4 years of Trump.
More importantly, you can't vote for anyone from Australia when it comes to America.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been so interesting. Like I've had, it was funny. There was someone who put some comment out there, and I got called a fascist, a Trump-loving fascist,
communist,
and then you got blocked.
Yeah, and got blocked. And then someone underneath has written, "Have you actually watched the video?" So, but there was a lot of people who claimed in other threads as well that they had watched the video and still that the reason wasn't good enough. And I'm thinking, you haven't. You have not watched it. No, it was like people were straight on the attack, and obviously people who know me and know where I'm from had a bit of a laugh with it. And it's just, I had one. It was probably the best tweet I saw, which was I had a really long tweet written out ready to send to you, and then I thought I probably should watch the video, and it's just followed by "You got me." I thought that's pretty cool. That's honest. I like that. So that was a bit of fun. So that's been my fun 24 hours, and that was just kind of on a whim after I kept getting smashed with American politics yesterday. I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm just gonna tell everyone I'm not voting for Biden.
I seen the title of your video, and I'm going, I bet you he's going to go with because I'm Australian. And then I watched it, and I'm like, yep, there you go.
I might follow it up with the reasons I'm not voting for Donald Trump video. So we'll see. It'll be, once again, it'll probably only go for a few minutes.
You can do it while you're not voting for Jesse Ventura video as well. Now,
can you do the Donald Trump video? Just dub Donald Trump over where you say Biden in your last video and just re-upload it.
Oh, you know what? That's ingenious. That is exactly.
Sorry to ruin the satire for everyone watching this now, but that would be hilarious.
Only if I can do it in a voice where it's clearly me going over the top, going Donald Trump. Or get someone else to come in and just do over the top. Actually,
just record Donald Trump once to get someone else to edit it in for you, just so it's a bit.
Thinking, Jay, I might get you because you've got the most American accent that I've ever heard. So I'll get you. Donald Trump. Just means you have to say Donald Trump a number of times.
I'll just say it once, and you can just take it and
just say it once and just like paste it in.
I'll send you a recording and just saying Donald J. Trump.
Or even better, get Ring to do it in his impersonation of Donald Trump.
It's huge.
No. If Ring's doing it, he's doing it in a Kent Haven voice.
Kent Haven.
Oh, but you could make it sound like Donald Trump got hold of your video and deliberately inserted him. No, that wouldn't work because it's not that. No, you'd need somebody to do a Biden voice. Kent Haven would be good.
Well, it could be good. Could be good. We'll see. Grumpy old dude. Hello, by the way. He reckons Manda for president. So someone's already beaten us into it. We're actually voting Ansgar Odinson for president. So
yes, he's promised cat girls.
Ansgar would be good.
Yeah, so it's
that's the thing. You could make that as a joke, but Ansgar would actually make a good president.
Probably would actually. I'd imagine you'd finally get your universal healthcare that you need.
Probably.
You may even end up with basic living wage.
Let's not push it. This is America we're talking about.
I don't think we'll even get that here, Chris.
Well, we've actually got the highest minimum wage in the world.
Have we really?
Yeah, we've got the highest minimum wage in the world. Yep, we're better than Sweden. Suck it, Sweden.
For us, our issue isn't so much the wage; it's underemployment. So it's just people that aren't necessarily working enough, but the wages are there. So
no, it's the actual figure of the minimum wage.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like our issue isn't we need higher wages. It's sometimes people are underemployed where they want to actually work more and they just can't.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. But although, I could get into that one. Trust me, I could get into that one, but I may choose to run again at some point, so I won't. That could be a fun one for me. But yeah, Bobby, tell everyone who you are. When apart from the stuff that we show, apart from Voldemort, we'll call it Voldemort.
Yes, that's fair enough. See, I've got quite an interesting story. You see, so well, I don't really know. I'm just trying to think where to really sort of like start with it all.
Probably start with the most interesting thing, which is I'm your best mate. So,
well, we have been friends. This is actually my first friend over here, my first proper mate over here. Working at a car yard together. That was like what 12 and a half years ago, something like that, and 12 years ago. Still good mate. So, but no, I love living in Australia. It's 13 years, and I've got three beautiful daughters, and I'm glad I left. As much as I love Scotland, I'm glad I left. It was for my own safety and my own sanity. I think I left Scotland. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have taken a very good path. So I'm sort of coming to Australia saved me pretty much, which I'm quite grateful for. So yeah.
Now I've just chucked something up just so people can get to know you a little bit better. Math Pig, if you're there, I've just got a little image just to give people a bit of an idea of who Rob is.
Oh, it's not the one of me fucking that guy. It's that one, isn't it? Oh no, Christ, it's not that one. No, that's fine. I thought it was one. Remember that guy took the one of me lying on the bench, and I was doing that sultry pose. I thought it was that one.
You know what? I didn't even think to look for that one, but now you mentioned, I'm gonna find that.
I don't care. I've got no shame. Nothing embarrasses me. So
apart from that one picture, obviously.
Which one? That was the one I thought you were going to put up.
See, no, I do have some other good ones.
Yes, we've had quite a few. We've had quite a good few experiences, haven't we? The one you put up was at the basketball. They were quite good. Those basketball ones that we would get to go to front court.
Oh yeah. It's I had my local basketball team. I sponsored and part of the deal was courtside seats. So that was there was also a drinks package, and because Lissy had to look after the kids most times, Rob kind of ended up. I think he virtually ended up with season tickets.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I think there was one or two games you didn't go to.
Yeah, I know. Well, Leslie's got to go to a couple. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I think the ones that you couldn't go to, had someone else go, but it was good fun. So.
Yeah, no, it always was. But
no. It's fun. So it's always a good laugh. Always a good laugh.
Always, yes.
So isolation has been a little bit chaotic, and I think something that. Well, I know I'm happy with all the restrictions are lifted as of today here. Or not all of them, but a ton of them are. So we can kind of go out and do stuff again. And I think it was like 2 cases yesterday. And the area I live in, I don't think we've had one for like 2 weeks. So it's always good to hear. But I guess I thought it was a good time for those who are still stuck to have a chat about some of the TV shows we found ourselves binge watching, some of the movies we found ourselves watching, and good books. So I guess I want to throw it around. What TV series have you found yourself binge watching out of nowhere? So Sam, you've always got an interesting Japanese anime to talk about. What Japanese anime have you found yourself drooling over?
Well, sadly, a few of them have been delayed because of the whole situation. So my one of my go-tos, One Piece, is currently delayed. So I haven't actually been watching a bunch of anime. I've been playing a lot of games instead of binging anime. As you can see behind me, it's basically an anime, but a game. For TV shows, though, I've watched 2 episodes so far, but because I like the quirky sort of mature comedies, animation, on Netflix quite often, it's Midnight Gospel.
I was going to mention that one.
Angel keeps telling me to watch that. Like you have to watch this. So.
See, I wouldn't go to someone and say you need to watch this. This is amazing. This is crazy, but it is really unique, and it's basically a 22-minute dialogue between 2 characters, and there's just this really fantastic surreal animation surrounding it, and they just talk about really abstract concepts. It's quite funny because like after I did that BoJack Horseman video on death, like Midnight Gospel seems to be basically around two characters dialoguing about things like death and addiction and happiness, and that's just it. That's the episode. There's nothing more. Like there's no ongoing story.
It's a podcast with animation.
It's set up with like the theme is the main character, Clancy. I think it's Clancy.
Yeah, Clancy.
He's like some weird being in this weird dimension, and like he goes into a simulator that his computer is hooked up to that he bought secondhand with money he borrowed from his sister. But he just goes to these random worlds and just observes and interviews the person as if it's for a Twitch stream, but like he's streaming it out to space and stuff. And for whatever reason, he inhabits whatever body he wants, and he never seems to be worried about the danger. And the first episode, he appears to go to Earth, and there's like this big zombie attack, and he's just, for 20 minutes, he's just interviewing the president of the United States as they're going around shooting zombies, trying to get out of the mall. And yeah, it's really surreal, but like interesting watch.
All right, sounds like fun. Jen, what are you recommending?
Well, I haven't watched many TV shows during this thing. God, I can't remember what the name of the show was now. I'd have to look it up because I'm dreadful with names and things. But I rewatched a few movies. I was rewatching some of the Marvel movies because I really enjoyed them. And I watched the new Sonic movie, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah, it is an amazingly good movie. It is so close to the games, and it just looks great and polished, and the storyline is just brilliant. So I
don't know if it can be close to the games. I mean, the games are like a hedgehog running, collecting rings. Although
they did
well with it.
Even
they did amazingly well. I thought it would just be something lighthearted to watch, but I was really, really surprised by it, and it was just something I'm really glad I watched. I finally watched the last Star Wars movie.
How good? Yeah, it's amazing.
I gotta wait till the fourth.
Look, I think it was as good as it could be, considering what the previous movie had done. That's my diplomatic statement on it. I wasn't disappointed by it because the previous movie had done all the disappointment. So, but yeah, I still feel the trilogy could have been a lot better than what it was.
Oh, the second movie of the trilogy was terrible.
It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, the last Jedi was woeful. I'll cop to that. I thought Rise of Skywalker was good though, but
I thought it was as good. I thought it was as good as he could have done it, given what he was given to work with from the previous movie. And yeah, but that doesn't that for a lot of people doesn't mean it was good because the whole thing was ruined by that second movie. For a lot of people, it was even ruined by the first one. But I don't feel the same way about the first one. While I have problems with some of the themes that were brought out in the first movie, in that they don't really fit that well with the original Star Wars. It is Disney's thing, and they can change canon to some degree. You know,
they paid $4 billion for it.
Yeah, I mean, it does come as like a spit in the face to those who followed the extended universe religiously, but you know, it's theirs. They can make that creative choice. Yeah, I don't think
the extended universe, and the problem with the extended universe is so much of it came out before the prequel trilogy that it doesn't match. Like you read, say, Heir of the Empire, which was the first one that came out, and the stuff they talk about with the Clone Wars and their version of that doesn't really match up with what then happened.
What was in the movies?
I think it had kind of already been nerfed.
I think that's part of the reason why Disney wanted to discard a whole heap of that continuity, because there were things that did fit and didn't fit, and they were in the point where we have to discard something. Let's stick with the movies and the TV shows that we have done, and that way that becomes our base of canon. And I'm personally fine with that. I know a lot of people aren't, but so in that context, The Force Awakens is actually not a bad movie, and I really enjoyed it. But that movie just went down paths that were just ridiculous as far as I'm concerned, and in doing that, made it very hard for JJ to bring bring back something that to make something that could have been absolutely brilliant out of it, because I think it missed that mark because of what happened in that second movie.
So I'm actually going to throw this to Amanda, because I think you're going to be the most qualified to answer this question. And don't get angry at me, Amanda, okay? Do not get angry at me. I haven't watched the Clone Wars TV show yet. Is it? She's on the phone.
Something about she's texting you.
She's messaging you to tell me to shut up.
I didn't talk shit about Return of the Jedi. I didn't even mention Return of the Jedi.
Do you think it would have made a difference with the
You're
Star
on
Wars
mute,
movie if
Amanda.
we had the same director for all three of them?
Yeah, it would have been. I think it would have been.
I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, because you've got that continuity, haven't you, between all three of them? So
And Ryan Johnson was just an idiot.
Number 9 had to fix a lot of what happened in number 8 to start with.
Yeah,
And that ruined the flow of the movie for me, and made him have to bring in themes that I don't think he would have gone with had they hadn't killed, if they had not killed off Luke at the end of the second movie and waited till the next movie. Then Luke would have done all the training. I think a lot of things.
All right.
Sorry, Jay, but I mean, that bit had happened in the second one.
Jen. Sorry, I'm going to throw to Amanda because I want to. Sorry. I just want to kind of spread it out a bit. Amanda, Clone Wars. What?
I love the Clone Wars.
Okay, so it's
crappy animation.
Yeah, it's shitty animation. The movie itself sucked. The first couple seasons weren't the greatest. I can't really stand Ahsoka except for the last couple seasons, but there is a lot to it that's really good. And there's only 2 episodes left. They're literally getting right into the middle of Order 66. Like it's and it. Hi, Lissy.
Yeah, you got that one right. She bought me beer.
She's very sweet. The thing with this though is that we have had 7 seasons of getting to know clones as real people, as individuals, and we've seen some of them die and stuff, but this is totally different. We're about to see them. When we watched the movie, they were just faceless nobodies to us. And they went and killed the Jedi, and we hated them for it, even though it wasn't their fault. But now we have spent years getting to know them as individuals, and we have to see them struggle with this thing that they're about to kill the people that they're supposed to be protecting, that they consider family. So it's
deep.
This is kind of deep.
So when I say Order 66, and without spoiling it, so that tells me that it's happening during Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of the season was right before Revenge of the Sith, and then it kind of matches up. It goes concurrently because we don't see as much Anakin right now on the show because he's off doing his getting turned by Palpatine thing. We've been stuck with Ahsoka.
Hang on, Anakin gets turned by Palpatine.
What was that? Wait, what? What'd I do? Oh, okay.
This is the problem when it's 7:30 in the morning.
Yes,
and you're not even drinking, Amanda. Well, damn.
See, and this is what happens when you're not drinking. Incidentally, Amanda, I just want to say that with the hair the way it is today, you are definitely pulling off the Tiffany look.
I know, right? I really think that you're right. I do. I'm telling you, I wanted to be her when I was little, so
I'm not convinced that you're not. It's for those who don't know. So I'm sure most people have heard the song "I Think We're Alone Now" by Tiffany. The artist who did it actually did a modern version of it. And I'm watching the film clip and I'm just like, hang on a second, that looks like Amanda. And I put it out there as a little bit of a stir up and all that. And Amanda's come back and gone, oh my god, I want to be here. I'm like, wow, not what I expected, but okay.
She's gorgeous.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure there might have been a poster or 2 up on my bedroom wall. as a teenager when that came out.
She wasn't no Belinda Carlisle.
That was the other one I was going to say. Belinda Carlisle. Yeah.
I've got a story about Belinda Carlisle. Let me tell you about Belinda Carlisle.
Okay, I'm just saying, Chris and I have this like shared.
Nobody cares, Amanda.
Music with you. Okay. That's what I was gonna say. Fuck you guys.
Nobody cares.
I know.
So Belinda Carlisle. Belinda Carlisle was my absolute crush for so many years. So many years. You know, she just seemed to have that whole she was it. And teenage me, and even then 20-something me was just, in love. Anyway, then I went and saw her live, and I was front row. And she was wearing what I'd call old lady clothes. She was wearing, the nice, sensible 60-year-old woman flowy clothes, and I'm there front stage, like front row. I'm just like, should have got tickets up the back. It's just killed it for me.
You're looking for Britney Spears, aren't you?
I was looking for Britney Spears, and I got Debbie Gibson.
Oh,
well, Debbie Gibson.
Debbie was all right.
Debbie Gibson back in the day is the spitting image of Britney. Well, I mean, Debbie became before Britney Spears, of course.
Yeah.
You watch Electric Youth. You watch that film clip, and tell me that does not. It's not just Britney was modelled off Debbie Gibson.
Yeah.
But
Debbie had
not beat them all, so.
Controversial point, but Debbie had more talent.
Oh, absolutely.
Britney's got some talent.
Oh,
Britney's
really?
Kept her mouth shut, maybe.
Oh, Jay.
Leave Britney alone.
I was just about to say that, actually, Chris.
You got to be quick, man. You got to be quick. Bobby Mack, what are you watching?
Well, again, I say I've been finished that Midnight Gospel.
Hang on. Just want to clarify. No Pornhub series, okay? Just send me the links later. Yeah.
There's nothing else. I don't watch anything else really, pretty much. Midnight Gospel, the Mighty Bush, like television series, on the Kingdom is a good South Korean zombie one.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Is it really worth it?
Yes, I haven't seen the first season yet, but the first season was awesome. I just rewatched the last episode just to catch up with it.
It's one of those things I've got on my list, but I just haven't got there yet.
Yeah, no, it's really good. If you like that sort of style, anyway, like think of it like Train to Busan, but set like 12.
Oh, Train to Busan was really good.
Have you seen the
new another movie I haven't seen?
Oh, the
Peninsula
preview for the second one.
Peninsula, man, that looks awesome. Yeah, very, very much so. Rick and Morty, I still have my Rick and Morty. I still go back and watch that. You have to watch that. People bag it out.
Actually, I think
Rick and Morty is awesome.
This is a hat I was wearing.
Oh, cool.
Oh, geez, Rick.
I love Rick and Morty.
Have you still got the Pickle Rick wallet?
I do have the Pickle Rick. It's starting for the Pickle Rick wallet. It's a bit of a mouthful to say after a few beers. The Pickle Rick wallet.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah. Yes, but it's starting to fall apart a little bit. So, I watched that done by Rian Johnson, Knives Out, that sort of crime Agatha Christie style one by Rian Johnson. That was really good. Nobody's seen that one?
No, you said Rian Johnson to a stack of Star Wars fans. So
yeah, I know. But
probably going to kick him.
Take him out of the equation and just don't think of it as that guy that directed that Star Wars movie. Just watch it as it's actually good. It's a good crime.
I'd rather talk Flat Earth with you than Rian Johnson.
Fucking hell! It must be bad. It must be bad. I finally got round to watching Mandy, which I've been trying to watch for ages and ages and ages. And actually,
was that any good?
We're not allowed to say that name in these streams.
I'll say MD. Yes, it wasn't bad. It was very strange, very, very strange, as you would probably be aware of. But I enjoyed it. it was the characters were quite sort of Hellraiser, sort of Cenobite-y. They had that sort of vibe about them when they sort of appeared and disappeared back into the shadows. But it was good. And then I have to watch Color of Space is the next one I have to watch. The next Nicolas Cage one. So
okay, well,
I'm assuming it's based on the H.P. Lovecraft story.
Nicolas Cage just signs up for any movie that's offered to him. He just signs up for it.
Not a huge fan of Nicolas Cage.
I watched that Mum and Dad, that one on Netflix where him and his wife go crazy and try to kill the kid. That was quite entertaining, actually. It was shit.
But it was quite out of that movie.
That's just a documentary for anyone with kids in isolation.
Yeah, I know. That's what got me back into watching The Mighty Bush again, because one of the episodes he gets stuck on an island with Milky Joe, and he has this isolation song that he sings, and that song got stuck into my head, and that's what got me back into watching the Mighty Bush again. So I would recommend anybody to watch that.
That's an awesome name, Isolation Joe.
No, Milky Joe.
Oh, Milky Joe.
Milky Joe was the name, but he did this isolation song.
Oh, Isolation song. Okay, yeah. Milky Joe's still a nice, awesome name though.
It was like coconuts, and they were getting weirded out by the coconuts, and they all became friends with the coconuts and started having like parties and all that with the coconuts. It was very strange.
Were they eating the shrooms? Were they?
No, they were just eating the coconuts. There was no shrooms involved with this one. And just getting into reading and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's been pretty much.
Which we will come to in a sec, because I do want to talk about hobbies that we're all picking up. Jay, you've occasionally been known to watch a TV show.
Yeah, movies too.
Yeah.
Some movies.
I
think you were talking about some TV show or something about a Blue Brother or something like that. That you is that like a new TV show or something, or is that a?
No, it's a classic. No, I actually just finished watching Prodigal Son on CBS. Really good show. It's about a serial killer, the surgeon, killed like 23 people. His son grew up to be an FBI profiler. Now works with the NYPD.
Oh wow!
So it's really good. The last episode just out of freaking left field. That last episode.
Network show that I watched, Jason.
That's the only one he says.
All right, so
is it based on a true story, Jay, or is it?
No. I watched that. We were rewatching Next Generation.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
So I think we're almost into season 3. Ooh. So the last episode we watched, Picard got his heart replaced. So.
Oh, that's the one where he has the alternate timeline where he.
No. The first time, where Pulaski ends up doing the surgery.
Okay.
Yeah, and Geordi was captured on the ship of morons.
Seriously,
Pulaski morons.
Oh yeah, early Star Trek: The Next Generation's a bit more difficult to watch than later Star Trek: The Next Generation. You forget that it kind of started very campy.
Yeah,
and
campy at the beginning.
But then you get some awesome. Like season 2 had some awesome episodes, like Yesterday's Enterprise. That was cool, and the Borg get introduced.
Q Who.
Yeah, Q Who.
Yeah, we find out.
The weirdest thing in that whole episode is Guinan putting her hands up like that.
I know.
Like what the hell is she going to do? And then they left it there. They left this whole thing that maybe Guinan was a bit more powerful than we all thought, and there was something she could do about Q. And they never covered it again.
I actually talked to Raven about that. It was the whole mystique behind Guinan is you didn't know what she was or what she was capable of.
That kind of
a long time.
It was disappointing in a lot of ways. It'd be really cool actually if Whoopi Goldberg showed up again in
she's going to be in season 2.
She's in season 2.
Oh, awesome! And they covered some of that.
Oh, that I don't know. I do know that Patrick Stewart went on The View to personally invite her for season 2.
Oh, that's brilliant! No, I'm glad of that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I was going to say that whole thing she does there. She does that on The View as well. Whenever anyone mentions Trump, she.
I don't know.
I don't blame her really.
not being into Star Trek myself, I was more of a Star Wars fan, but there was always a film that I did love, which was like a piss take of it, called Galaxy Quest.
Oh yes, Galaxy Quest is so good.
That spawned its own cult following, though.
It's on Stan at the moment. I seen it the other week, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I've got it in my list to watch. So, but it's such a good one. It's just But I was never a big Trekkie fan, but it was just always reminded me of that's what it was like.
Adam Willie are talking about the young ones in chat, and I'm like, there's a brilliant show from the 80s.
You can't watch the young ones.
I have. Can I tell you an interesting story about the young ones? Right. So when I lived in Bristol from about 1999 until 2005.
That's very un-Scottish of you.
I'm a wanderer, Jen. I'm a wanderer. I move about a few places. You know what I mean? Almost choked.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, I get about a bit. So this girl that I was hooking up with, the house that she lived in was what they used the exterior of the young ones for when they did the external house show.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, but that's
so did it have damage on the front of it from where they did some of the shots?
No, that was in the 80s. This was in the 2000s, so it was all fixed up.
Oh, so it was well and truly repaired by then.
Oh, yeah. It was all fixed up and all that. But yeah, no, it's just a little. Whenever anybody mentioned the young ones, I just remember that. Can't remember what the girl's name was, unfortunately, but I can remember.
Hang on, the fact that she was in the young one's house is way more important, Bobby.
Watching this right now, going, oh my God, that's Rob that I knew from years ago. I wonder if he remembers me. He remembers me, and you've just completely just let it down.
I know. I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry. Whoever you are, if you're out there, you do one day.
But it was an amazing show for its time. And I think the loss of Rick Mayall a few years ago was really a big loss.
Hang on, I have to address something here. Something very important I've just seen in the chat. Jay, you've never seen or heard of the young ones?
Neither have I.
Nope.
I see. The problem I have here is it was very topical for its time. I don't know if it would hold well for anybody going back and watching it now.
As he said, it was very sort of topical, political for its time in the 80s, very punk.
Yeah, and I don't think it would hold for anyone now. If you went back and watched it, you would be legitimately, and with all due cause, saying to us, "This is crap. Why did you tell me to go and watch it?" So I couldn't recommend it to somebody who wasn't there, because I don't think you'd get it. I don't think you'd realize how this was so influential at the time.
I watched it in the 90s. The late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I watched it sort of both. But I remember, I think it was.
Yeah, well, it was still relevant then, but I don't think now, 20 years later, it is.
No, I think if you're a fan of the people's work already, you sort of, when you're a fan of an actor's work, you go back to their sort of back history and that. I think if you're a fan of the actors that were in it, you would go back to look at that. It's the same as Bottom. Have you ever seen Bottom?
Yeah, Bottom was good, but I don't think it was as good as the young ones.
No, but it was completely different.
It was. Did you see Bottom? Did you ever watch the Bottom on stage?
I think
they filmed the live stage show of it.
Yeah,
that is definitely some British hair right there.
In the middle of the Bottom episode, Rick Mayall totally forgets his lines. So he and Adrian Edmondson spend 15 minutes pulling the piss out of each other just because Rickles forgot what his lines were. It is absolutely brilliant piece.
Richie and Eddie.
Improv.
Yeah. No, but it's good. There is a lot of good dark British shows. Nighty Night, League of Gentlemen, Flowers. Fucking hell, what else have you got? There's so much.
Well, AdFab was of similar ilk. The problem with AdFab was it was really hit and miss. It was incredibly hit and miss, that show.
Yeah.
No. Well, an interesting point that was brought up there was some shows that don't age well. So I guess to throw one that I saw an episode of recently that I used to love back in the day that really has not aged well, Men Behaving Badly.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's dreadful now. If you go and watch it, you go,
It was great back in the day. Now I'm just like, ooh, this is so...
It's a complete cringe fest if you watch it now.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be allowed to make it now either.
No.
Because the degree of misogyny throughout the entire show is just the BBC would just not make it.
No, that was what the BBC.
I will say that they are presented as kind of dopes and.
And they're meant to. That's what their characters are. They are just bigoted idiots, really.
Their girlfriends basically dominate them. So, but yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm listening to some of it. And I'm just like, oh no! And some of the things or some of the comments, or they'll sort of the whole. I'm just like, ooh, this isn't for a audience.
Only Fools and Horses is still good that age as well. Have you all seen that? Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah. I quite liked it. It was one of those shows that I really never got to watch properly.
Yeah.
And I've been reluctant to go back and watching it because I didn't think it would age.
Yeah, okay. Well, we used to get a lot of Australian shows in the UK. We had like
stupid things like Neighbours and Home and Away, which should be put on bonfires.
More of a Neighbours than a Home and Away.
I can't believe they're still running though.
Are they? Oh, really? No.
Yeah, both of them. Neighbours and Home and Away still run, and people still watch them.
I'm ashamed of that.
We got.
I mean, they're not on the main channels anymore. They're on I think it's
Mate.
Mate
and 11.
Are they reruns or are they making new ones?
It's new.
How are we going to find our next Kylie Minogue if we don't have Neighbours, Jen?
Why did we have to find our first Kylie Minogue?
I had a Danny Minogue. You know how
without her, we wouldn't have got Holly Valance.
Yeah. You had a picture of. Did you see Belinda Carlisle?
Hey, Chris, your age is showing. And so am I for laughing.
Chris, did you see you had a picture of Belinda Carlisle or Tiffany Newell?
Probably both. Jenny Garth as well. Jenny Garth was a big one for me back in the day. 90210 Jenny.
I used to have a picture of Kylie Minogue. I had He-Man wallpaper, and I had a picture of Kylie Minogue. I used to love you, Kylie.
And did you then go and do the same thing to He-Man?
No.
She-Ra, man.
Me and He-Man had a different relationship back in them days. So it was a little, that was my little.
He-Man was probably the earliest cartoon character I remember being a fan of, being an active. I'm going to go out. I'm going to play He-Man.
Yeah, same.
Mathvic has just said the Almighty Johnson is his favourite Aussie show. We'll claim it, Mathvic, but it's not an Aussie show.
Almighty Johnson.
We need to have a conversation, Mathvic. It's about as Aussie as Russell Crowe's band.
Yeah. I'll grant him though, it wasn't a bad show.
Yeah,
compared to a lot of the crap New Zealand makes.
Yeah, the strange, but it's just whenever I watch anything that's a New Zealand TV show, I've just noticed that the accents are over the top. And Kiwis, when you hear them normally, they've got that little, that kind of it's all good, bro, kind of
fish and chops.
But yeah, the fish and chops. But when you watch New Zealand TV shows, it's like it's badly. Okay, Thor, classic example, Thor. The rock monster in Thor.
Yeah.
That's all right. Hey, I'm just, it's like the 12th man is taking the piss out of Kiwis.
I don't know. I hear a lot of Maoris that talk like that. Like the guy in Thor, like that. Like I know guys that's how they talk. Like they're soft spoken, but at the same time they're really like, oh yeah, bro, it's all right. We're going to chill, bro.
Oh yeah. You see, I don't get that. Maybe the Kiwis we're getting here have spent too much time here. They're too acclimatized.
I think it depends which island they're from because the accent is slightly different between the North and South Islands. So,
I think it's typically the Maoris I get that type of accent from, not the imperialists. No, what's the word?
Politics.
Unfortunately, New Zealand TV has been ruined for me forever because of their stupid remake of Monkey.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Hang on, what?
Oh, it's just so stupid.
Do you mean Journey to the East Monkey, or is this a different one?
They made a new Monkey Magic, and it is absolutely dreadful. It doesn't even follow the story.
No. Tell me you're joking.
No, I'm not joking.
New Zealand made a Monkey remake.
Yes. badly, very, very badly.
A good TV show that did come out of New Zealand was Ash versus the Evil Dead. That was filmed in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, so by that logic, Lord of the Rings is New Zealand.
No, but it is a lot.
Another person who was on my wall at one point, Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh yeah, she is in that. She's in that as well, actually. Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, I know. Well, Xena. No, I was Team Xena rather than Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Was it Gabrielle or Gabby? Gabrielle. Gab something.
Yeah.
No, definitely Team Xena. So Mandy, we missed you. Tell us about the TV shows you're binge watching, because you should be binge watching a lot of TV shows because you have a show about TV shows.
Yeah. This weekend we're doing Breaking Bad with Jeff. So. Okay, so I'm.
Hang on. Was that doing Breaking Bad or Jeff?
Yes.
Not Jeff. Breaking Bad.
Jeff, Breaking Bad.
I just want to be clear that the opinion.
Jeff's awesome.
Leave Jeff alone. I just finished watching Breaking Bad. Actually, it took me a while to actually get finished it.
Boring.
I'm glad you said it, Jay.
So you want?
Okay, so what have you been binging?
That's what I'm trying to say, but some people keep over talking.
On the stream, you just pointed at no one, by the way.
Oh well.
She's trying to point at me, but it wasn't me.
Pig and I are watching Future Man. I think that's what it's called. He introduced me to that. That's fun. It's kind of sci-fi. It's a comedy. It's on Hulu. My American President, or our cartoon president. I just finished binging that, which is on Showtime, and it's Stephen Colbert's cartoon about Trump. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's really, really good, Sam. So, I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time for TV shows lately, so I guess that's about it, really.
What about a movie? Is there a movie you've come across, Amanda?
Angel made me watch 1917, and it was really good, really, really good. Also, and it's an Aussie movie, Nightingale. Like, I don't know if you guys have you seen it, Sam?
No, but it's the set in the World War I or II or something, isn't it? The medics? Or no,
that's 1917. That's that one. I'm talking about Nightingale. There's
I was thinking like
you have to look it up. It is so good. It's about this woman who she lives in Australia because her and her husband were thieves or whatever, and horrible shit happens to her, and she stands up for herself and has to cross through and find this guy. I don't know. It's fucking brilliant. It's really good. What?
Set in Tasmania?
No, no, I don't think so. It's like forests. So
I have heard of that actually.
If it's in forest, it could be Tasmania.
Okay, I don't fucking know. I think it's Tasmania.
I have heard of that.
If it was set in Tasmania, she'd probably know because it would be a big point. Or at least
No, I don't think it is. But no, Nightingale. Look it up. It's really, really fucking good. So, and
I watched 1917 as well. I was very impressed with the one take sort of motion that it had. No, very, very clever editing. So yeah, I've got Midway as another war one I've got to watch as well, which looks really, really good. That's the Pearl Harbor one. I think it's Pearl Harbor.
From like 20 years ago?
No, from the...
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like actual Pearl Harbor, the movie. I was like,
no, Matt Damon wasn't in that, was he?
Which one?
He wasn't in... No, Ben Affleck was in Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah. No, this one's Midway. It's a new one that come out. It's just come out. That looks really good as well. So, but I'll recommend 1917 as well.
And Cuba Gooding Jr.
So as far as movies go, now I'm sneaking away for 2 minutes, so I'm going to leave Jay in charge because Jay's always good at this.
Nobody listens to you, Amanda. Why are you looking like, what about me?
I gave you the channel for a whole week. I can give Jay the show for 2 minutes.
I'm fucking kidding, dude.
And there we have it. Manda's laughing. I'm happy. Manda's laughing. All right. Apparently, Lissy's just put in the chat too. Yes, that movie is set in Tassie. So it's not in Australia.
Oh,
oh, yeah. Sorry.
So we know Amanda's not good at writing synopsises.
I love.
Oh.
So I guess as far as other movies, I guess to keep the conversation going, other movies that we've sort of, because we've got a lot of time to watch movies, we can't go out. So are there any classics that we've come back on? So I'm just going to quickly run away for a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Big Jake, Atari, McClintock. Those are the last older ones I've watched.
What was that?
I've been rewatching the Marvel movies, but they're not particularly old.
Yeah.
I said Angel and I watched Dr. Zhivago a little bit ago.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I'm trying to introduce my eldest daughter's turning 13 this year, so I've introduced her to a few horror films. Her first,
Night of the Living Dead.
She's watched a couple of Night of the Living Dead ones. I can't remember which one. Her actual first zombie foreign movie film was Train to Busan. So that was
so good.
When she was about 11. But my kids have always been really good. Like, I introduce them to stuff. I always check everything, especially with the classics. Like, I know what I'm sort of looking for. But with the newer ones, you've got to be a little bit careful sometimes. So I always check first what I show them. But my elder one, she's good with what she used to do, like special effects makeup, like pretend like she'd like cut her throat and she had blood blisters when she was like 7, 8, 9 years old. Like, she was doing special effects. So she was aware of what she's seen wasn't real. So that's why I've showed her like the original Thing, RoboCop. What else did we watch? There was heaps that I showed her. It's just to show like the old 80s, 90s.
Reanimator.
No, I haven't introduced
that. That's a horrible movie.
It is amazing. It is schlocky B horror.
It's so dreadful.
I heard it's coming back. There's been a remake or something of it, or there was
you couldn't remake it in 2020. I don't think it
would
work.
No, you couldn't. I think it might have just been like an add-on.
There was a few sequels. There was like Bride of Reanimator and stuff.
Bride of Reanimator, yeah. I mean, if you want a weird movie like that, wouldn't you be better off watching something like Young Frankenstein?
No, because I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, and it's actually based off one of his short stories. Like, it's
really?
it's a reasonable distance away from the short story, obviously, because like
that's why I didn't recognize it
or anything. But it is a Lovecraftian.
Now you're talking Lovecraftian. I really need to watch In the Mouth of Madness.
I've never seen a good Lovecraft movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that film. It wasn't even. I think I'm not really too much up to my Lovecraft sort of stuff, but as a movie, I did enjoy that. And Event Horizon, actually, that was a good.
It's not as close as you'd like it to be, but it's not a bad film.
Yeah.
So what did I miss?
Talking mad shit about you.
Jay upset Mandarin, she ran away.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, but she didn't mute and drop out. She didn't consider that much.
I was telling about films that I've introduced my daughters to, because you know what my kids are like, Chris. You know, like what I let them watch, and like
Saw, Hostel, Human Centipede.
I'm trying to convince my oldest that, I mean, she's 9, almost 10, that now's the time that she can watch Jurassic Park, original Jurassic Park.
No, don't watch the new one.
No, she won't go near it. I'm like, come on, it'll be fun. We'll watch it together. And she's like, no, not going to happen. I tried to sit down and watch Dr. No with her the other day, and I forgot how slow an intro that is, and how you've really got to sit back and watch it and can't be distracted and to enjoy it. But yeah, it's all.
Isn't that James Bond?
Yeah, that's the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it all began.
Now you're making me want to rewatch a whole heap of James Bond movies, though.
Now they all suck. Don't waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got, they're all on Stan in Australia. If you've got Stan, you've got all of the Bond films.
Yeah, I don't have Stan.
Yeah.
I got Netflix and Disney.
How can you watch Better Call Saul?
I don't watch Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. I'm like Jay. I don't like them.
Boring. Something you put on to fall asleep to.
I haven't tried that, Jay.
The episode that did me was the Fly episode. I lost interest after that bit, and then I ended up getting back into it and finished watching it like 3 years later, and then I ended up watching it all. So, but I surprisingly didn't find out how it ended, and I still don't know how Sons of Anarchy has ended because I never got around to watching it.
Oh, you got to finish Sons.
I know everybody says that, but I forget where I'm at.
I've done that with Dexter.
Yes,
I watched all the way up to the second last season, and then I lost complete interest, and I've never watched the rest of it. So I have no idea how the series ended.
You can completely just bypass the last half of that last season.
No, I just have no interest in it now. The whole way the story went was just stupid, and I have no interest anymore.
Have you watched Mindhunter?
Yes. Oh, that was really good.
Brilliant. I can't wait for the third season to come out, actually. Hopefully.
I heard they canceled it, so...
Yeah, I heard that, but then I heard it might have been coming back. But
yeah, so it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, that was such a good show. I actually found out that my birthday is the 19th of December, and Ed Kemper is the 18th of December.
Oh, nice. My next serial killer video is going to be on Ed Kemper.
Oh, there we go. Does anybody know their serial killer birthday?
The name sounds familiar. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. No. The only two people I know who are into serial killers are pretty much you two.
It's a tad disturbing that you guys are so into serial killers.
Yeah. It's not disturbing. It's a strange interest. It's a morbid fascination, I suppose. Jeffrey Dahmer was my first one. He was the one that sparked my interest when I was about 12. So yeah.
Huh. Carol Bundy was born on my birthday in 1942.
There we go.
There we are.
Robert Acala was born on the 23rd, 3 days before mine.
Yeah.
I never actually realized having a serial killer birthday was a thing.
It was my friend Shane's birthday. Happy 40th to Shane. Him and Saddam Hussein have the same birthday. So.
Dear, that's funny. So,
what about you then, Chris?
Sorry?
What about you then? What are you binging?
Oh, yeah, good point, actually. I've actually been watching The Office, the American version.
Nice.
Huge fan of the British one.
I can't get into the American one.
Look, it's okay. It starts off a bit slow, and you kind of pick up on things if you've seen the British one.
I would enjoy it. I would not say I can't get into it, but I would enjoy it. I just haven't got around to actually watching it from start to finish. I love the English one so much.
Oh, the English one's the best by far.
Oh, how much of the American one have you watched?
I think I'm at season 6.
What's happened? So, does anyone care about Office spoilers? It's been around for a while, right?
Yeah, it's. I think it's beyond spoil. He started his own paper company and then sold.
Michael Scott Paper Company, right? Yeah. My opinion. I saw the British one first. The British one is a better miniseries, but The Office US, I think, is just so different that it stands completely on its own. And up until the point where Michael Scott leaves, it's amazing. It is really, really good. I didn't
realize you did that.
Well, all the characters leave at some point.
But now I know.
Oh, well, okay. I thought that was at least common.
Yeah,
Scott Carroll.
The show I never really got into was The Office.
The first season is horrible. No, not the first season isn't horrible, but the first season for the American one is, I think, 6 episodes long, and it is just like a shot-by-shot hash together of the UK one, and it does not work.
Sorry, Amanda, what were you saying?
I said, tell us how you really feel, Jay. And he's just zoned out completely.
No, I'm sorry, I was answering Art. No,
my problem with The Office.
And they run their jokes way too long. Like they're funny, you get the laugh, but then they just keep going and just kill the joke.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one of the first sitcoms though that had a continuity from episode to episode and actually told an evolving story. Like you go from season to season, and at the end of season 2, the characters are not the same as they were at the start of season 2. and like you really, really grow up with the characters. Like this is probably the series that I've binged the most and rewatched the most, and like it's just really satisfying. Whereas before that, everything was like Friends or Everybody Loves Raymond and shit like that. So I did some stuff even if it's not for you.
I am planning on going back and rewatching Babylon 5 though. I think that's something that's done every couple of years. That's the greatest sci-fi show ever, hands down. So.
Yeah. No. Well, no, because it's not really sci-fi. But I would contest that Firefly is probably better.
It was good, but it's not Babylon 5.
But Babylon 5 went for longer, so has a lot of personal thing for me because my movement out of religion went into sort of following a religion that was very close to the Minbari.
I was going to say, so you are one with the Vorlons, or?
I have a faith, and I had a faith. No, I don't have a faith. I had a faith.
Hang on. You heard it here first. Jen, not an atheist.
Clip it.
All right. You've got a religious.
I've given out my secret.
What you believe and why you believe it.
I had
an atheist either, though. I'm not really sure what I am.
I moved from Christianity into a faith that was more about the universe being its own creator and being a conscious entity in its own right, and therefore that was where my spirituality came from. So. But that disappeared within a couple of years. So, but yeah, it was, and I took on a lot of the tenets that were spoken about for the Minbari because I found the show was very influential to me. I was a teenager when it came out, and it was the sci-fi. Sorry, Star Trek Next Generation lovers. Babylon 5 was inherently better.
It came out in the 90s.
90s, sorry. It was early 90s, though, wasn't it?
You can't have been a teenager.
When did it come out? Tell me.
I'm paying you an underhanded compliment.
Thanks. When did it come out?
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s. Oh, okay. So I wasn't a teenager.
It came out when DS9 came out.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I'm sorry. It was, yeah, you're right. It did. I was thinking it came out when Next Gen came out, but yeah, it was with Deep Space Nine. But it was inherently better all around. The stories were more compelling. It was just a deeper mythos than Star Trek had managed to develop over all the years that it was on for. So
Star Trek was better sci-fi because it wasn't about mythology. Then is that what you're saying?
I actually think that I love Star Trek, but Star Trek does a lot of hand waving to its science, which is common in many sci-fis, and it makes me put it almost in a similar vein to the science fantasy that you get with Doctor Who and Star Wars, rather than
sci-fi. It is good on the science, or I assume is good on the science, because it seems to actually care about it more, and that's The Expanse.
Oh, The Expanse is brilliant. I mean, there's certainly faults within its science. I mean, especially when you're talking about the particle and some of the ways that they describe their drives, their space drives working. But on the whole, it is very, very good in the way it does its science. So
has anyone seen
I love The Expanse. It is probably at the moment, it's my favorite sci-fi on TV.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say something interesting you said before. It's how you weren't always atheist. I actually was an atheist, and I actually found out this week I'm not an atheist.
Oh,
yeah. Steve McRae told me so.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. In joke for those, I'm definitely an atheist.
Yeah. You're talking about the whole debate thing with
atheist chill.
Oh man, I was looking forward to that debate.
Me too.
I was too. I'm like, Does it really matter, Steve, about you wanting these citations and everything? You can have a debate without that.
I actually get it from Steve's point of view, because Steve.
I do too, but
a lot of people who kind of just throw, this is my opinion. This is my opinion without actually citing the actual academic work, which is frustrating. It's frustrating.
The problem with this topic, though, is that he's debating people with how they are using words colloquially and insisting that they're wrong for using a colloquial definition when he wants to use the academic definition, which I think is just wrong. Like he's wrong for not engaging people with the definitions they choose to use.
And the other side of that is not all academics use the same definition as him. So,
oh yeah, look, I disagree with what he's saying. I understand. Yeah. I really like Steve, and the conversations I've had with him, I actually think he's a good guy. I think he's a bit full on sometimes, and I wouldn't want to get to a fight with him. So, Steve, if you're watching this in the future, this is not me having a go at you. I love you. Please don't fight me. But I was looking forward. I think it would have been an interesting conversation. I think Randolph might have, and I like Randolph too. I think he may have bitten off more than he could chew with the topic.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I was prepared to be corrected. I was prepared to listen, watch it. So, but incidentally, Jay, you're the go-to man as a moderator now.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah,
it was actually brought to my attention from a third party. Somebody asked me if I'd be willing to host. I was like, yeah. So somebody
I honestly think you could host more debates because you do them really well.
Hang on. I don't know if it's just this stream, but what tends to be there's talking overs kind of happening, but it's drowning. It seems to be drowning voices out. So it's almost like we can't hear anyone, if that makes sense. So I was just going to say, and I know we've got a time lag between those of us on one side of the planet and those of us on the other side of the planet. But I was just going to say, if we can all kind of keep an eye on it, because all that happens is its mouths start moving, but no one can hear what anyone's saying. So I'll quickly throw back to Jay and then to Jen.
Oh, what I was saying was it was brought to me by a third party. So somebody outside Randolph and Steve come to me about hosting it. So I was like, sure. Whatever you guys want to do.
Jen.
Yeah. I'd like to see you host more debates, Jay, because I think you do an absolutely brilliant job of it. And we need a more fair and open debate platform, because a certain other debate platform I'm kind of disappointed with. I don't think it runs the right way, and I think you can do a much better job than that, Jay.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I want you to find me a flat earther to debate.
No saying the F word.
I wasn't talking about any of the current panel members.
Another one.
I found you one, but we'll talk about that later.
At the after show.
Yeah, we'll discuss that later.
After show.
Incidentally, that is something we're talking about doing. We're talking about potentially doing an after show for this for people who want to jump in. So, but that's all. But not tonight. Not tonight. But maybe down the track. I'm actually one of the things. I'm actually looking at rebranding the channel. So, and I know I've sort of mentioned it to a couple of you here. I think the Atheist Pastor pseudonym was all well and good when I was trying to not let people know who I was for privacy reasons, but obviously that's been out of the bag for a while now. So I'm sort of thinking of, maybe a different branding, something. But anyway, it's people don't come on here to listen to me talking about branding. There's other shows where they spend the whole thing talking about branding. This ain't one of them. But anyways, I won't go there. So as far as habits and hobbies, things that you've picked up or things that you found yourself doing while locked up, is there anything interesting? I know some are working, some aren't working, so it's different experiences. Sam, you've been working from home, haven't you?
Yes, I've been doing my normal hours working from home. So
is there anything that you've sort of picked up as far as a new hobby or something that you've kind of taken a bit more interest in?
I've returned a bit more to streaming on Twitch, so video games and stuff. Not so much linked with. Actually, no, it is linked with the quarantine, I guess, because even though I'm working full time, I still obviously have a lot more time where I'm at home and need to fill those hours with something. And after going through Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I sort of refound my love for Japanese role-playing games, which is something I played to death growing up on the Super Nintendo. And so I've been spending way too much money on things like Sakura Wars and Trials of Mana and all sorts of stuff. So,
how about you, Jen? What do you find yourself doing that you normally wouldn't? And don't think I'm rude. I do have to duck away for 1 minute.
That's fine. I've been spending an awful lot of time coding. I've been writing software, a little bit for myself, some stuff for use with the community for when we're doing production on videos. So yeah, that's been keeping me pretty busy and been good fun because I haven't done a lot of heavy duty coding for a while. So it's been good.
That's your main job then, just doing the programming?
Well, I do work in the computer industry. I mostly do network management and computer maintenance, but because so many places have been either on reduced staff or shut down over this, I've basically had no work. So I've had time to do other things that I'm interested in. I used to do a lot of coding. I wrote software for the education department years ago, and I've done some other things along those lines. So it's been good to actually get back to it.
Okay. Are you all in positions where you are able to work from home?
Yeah, I am.
Yep.
So.
Sam, you obviously are. Amanda, yourself?
Yeah.
Are you able to work from home pretty much?
I usually work from home, but right now we're not really working that much at the moment. So,
what about yourself, Jay? Are you working from home, capable?
No, I work in a factory, so.
Oh, right, okay. So.
Yeah, but I left early. It would have been my Thursday because last night was my Friday. About halfway through the shift because we literally were down to 2 machines that had work, and I didn't even bother going in tonight because I knew what was coming up. And I get one of the guys that messaged, we got a group chat. One of the guys said only 2 people showed up from work last night, and they didn't even have enough work for the 2 of them.
How many are supposed to be in the shift?
16.
Wow.
But we're on lockdown, Michigan lockdown and whatnot. So it's all voluntary work right now. So a lot of people are out because due to family stuff or just collecting unemployment and stuff like that. So yeah, we've been running with about 7 people. And yeah, like I said, only 2 of them showed up last night. It was just, I knew going in, I'd only be there for about an hour, maybe 2 tops.
Yeah.
And it used to be if you went in for any length of time and punched in, you got paid for 4 hours no matter what. But with this voluntary thing, we weren't sure. So we're just like, it's not worth it. We'll just stay home.
Probably not worth the gas money driving there.
Yeah, no. Well, it's only 7.5 miles, but still, in the middle of the night, it's just really not worth going in for an hour or 2 hours. Yeah, just turn around and come back. So,
yeah, well, I'm a painter, so I'm quite lucky myself. Anyway, I've still got a fair bit of work going on around me. Anyway, so we're still classed as essential workers, which is handy.
I run a social media business that specialises in pubs and clubs, and all the pubs and clubs are closed down. So I'm now a school teacher to a couple of kids who are homeschooling.
That's your resume, mate.
Well, actually, no. Lissy Loser, she's doing all the homeschooling, but
I just kind of float around one the other day, and I couldn't do it, and I think I don't know how. I don't have the patience to be.
Will your work start up again now, Chris? That some of the restrictions are being lifted.
A lot of my clients, because basically because I haven't had any money come in, they're probably not going to want to spend any money for a little bit. So I'm actually in the process of restructuring my entire business at the moment. So I'm moving into sales and marketing, training and services as well, which was originally what the business was, but then I ended up just found myself specializing in social and digital marketing because that kind of all my clients sort of started to come from there, and I let the other stuff go to the wayside. But I'll just show up and do whatever I need to do to basically keep food on the table. That's the brand.
Okay. Well, speaking of food on the table, you have this book that you have been using to make your meals that you're very excited about. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago for Christmas, I got given the Gordon Ramsay or a Gordon Ramsay cookbook, and it's sat there for years, and it's just it's like we've got these cookbooks and never opened them, never done anything with them. So a few days ago, well, more than a few days ago, about half a week ago, I decided that I was going to open it and start to get a little bit creative in the kitchen, and we've had some really good meals. Even the kids are eating it, so that's always a good sign. But tonight I cooked. It was buttermilk fried chicken with. I've done a pickled celery up, which is a sweet pickled celery, and I did a from scratch coleslaw, which is good, and did like it with a yogurt sort of dressing, and getting creative. It's great.
I cannot tell you how adorable it was that you could not get to that book fast enough to show me the picture of what you had made. We were both very excited. It was cute.
It was a big moment for me because it's it's.
Did it look like the picture?
Huh?
Did it look like the picture?
Well, no, that's why I used the book for the picture instead of the actual food.
Lissy did take a picture and sent it to me, and it did because she spent a lot of time plating it, and it was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Something I've never done. I've never tried to make my food look good. So,
it was like I can't remember what we had. It was these lamb cutlets. So it was a North African seasoned lamb cutlet. And it was the salad was bulgur, which I've never had before, which is it's kind of like a couscous. It's a North African version of even though couscous is North African, but with charred broccoli, and then I did this dressing, and I just followed the ingredients, so it's my credit to Gordon Ramsay for this one. Followed it, and it was really good. It was like, I'll give myself a pat on the back. It was fantastic.
I think it tastes better when it looks good.
I'll point out Lissy Lou is saying that we cooked, and she's probably giving me too much credit there because she probably did bulk of the work because she's sensational. It's when I met Lissy, I was 80 kilos. So for those of you who are use the pounds times it by 2.2, it's 176 pounds. So I was 176 pounds. I'm now clocking at about 115 to 120 kilos, which is a little bit on the heavy side.
So you're blaming your wife for that?
It's her good cooking.
You're blaming Lissy for it for
it's a
feeding.
compliment.
So your wife
it's like burping.
and blaming her for your putting on weight.
Yeah. So it's her fault. So it's her good cooking.
He can't blame himself.
But you know what? I also take the credit for her losing weight, because I've caused her that much stress over the years that she's dropped the kilos. Unbelievable.
Plus, you're obviously eating all the food.
And I'm eating all the food, yes. She's brilliant. She's sensational. Absolutely sensational. Even when we're not following Gordon Ramsay cookbooks, which have kind of taken some things to a next level, some of the stuff that she makes, I mean, seriously, she makes basic spag bowl good, because she'll throw in this spice, that spice. She just gets flavour.
Gets into it.
Yeah. Oh, she's brilliant.
So you're a flavour junkie there, Chris.
I think so. And Bobby, you'll back this up. You've been over a couple of times, and there's half a chance that you may have been something that heightens one's appreciation for food. So you'll back me up on this.
Yep, very much so. Very, very tasty. The odd times that I've when we go around there and we get on having some, what can I say? Just having a convivial evening.
I like that word, yeah.
And it's just it's good. It's nice food. But I haven't tried your Gordon Ramsay cookbook yet, so you're going to have to try with that one.
I'll send you a few shots later. Art's put a good comment in the chat. Cooking. We've been drinking like fucking maniacs and playing Monopoly. Well, we haven't been playing Monopoly, but I've got to say it's a lot easier to get midweek drinks or justify midweek drinks when you don't have to go to work the next day. And unfortunately, for me, the place that up the road that's the real nice American sports bar that gets all the nice craft beers in is now selling and delivering those craft beers. So I'm loving life. You'll know His Boy. You've been to His Boy with me, haven't you, Bob? Yep. So yeah, all those wonderful beers they have on tap are fantastic.
I just want to point out that Jay is incredibly fast to take an opportunity.
What have I missed?
He posted a tweet a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Saying if anybody wanted to talk to Jen about Flat Earth, contact me. I said, if you're a Flat Earther or you know someone who would like to talk, contact me and we'll set something up.
I'll send you a tweet. I know a guy. Yes. Oh, that's
yeah. You got a lot of Flat Earth friends, Chris. Is there something you need to own up to?
Well, Jen,
what? This is the first time hearing of this, Christopher. I'm outraged.
You're my only one, mate. You know I don't see other Flat Earthers. I love you and you alone. You know, so I try and have one friend in all the wacky categories. You know, I've got the one Flat Earth friend. You know, I've probably got a couple of young Earth creationist friends, but that's a hangover from my Christian days. So
you got Darth Dawkins as well. I mean, he loves you.
Well,
yeah. Speaking of Darth Dawkins, you bastard. Mine just broke 700 views, and I seen yours.
No, Jay. I
know I seen yours. Yours
what you did to me was fucking
like 75.
Yeah, so I cracked 2,000 today on the Darth Dawkins. So I was a little bit. Every day I get a notification that someone has commented. Like every day, someone has commented on Darth Dawkins. I'm just like, this is amazing. Like serious.
It was on my channel.
I know.
Because Amanda's with Aaron Raw.
Less than 200 on my channel.
It's ridiculous. No Mary's people.
On his or something ridiculous, isn't it?
I think it was 800 and something.
875 last I seen it. Amanda's like 273.
Okay, but in my defense,
there is no defense for you. Fuck off.
Yeah, I did do marketing and social marketing for a living. Like I know how.
In that case, I think you owe us all a Zoom session where you teach us all how to market our YouTube channels better.
Here's my theory, Chris, is that with all your live streams and maybe the fact that Jay does a lot, that'll blow this out. But because Amanda's channel's new, you probably get a lot of people who are your subscribers and they enter YouTube to watch your live stream. So they're not browsing for videos that like Amanda puts out that they're looking at whenever, but they enter YouTube to see Six Pack. So the algorithm loves you and loves your channel. So it's promoting your videos more than that's why your mirrors get more than say Amanda or Jay's. And I just realized you said you didn't want to talk about branding. So that's my theory.
I probably got a little bit clickbaity with the headline. With the heading.
So, your one for Darth is definitely clickbaity compared to mine.
Yeah,
the Aaron Raw one isn't much different.
Jay's got atheist pastor versus
Darth Dawkins.
Evolution False or whatever he was calling himself that week.
He's got three names. There's three names or something, isn't there?
Yeah. Whereas mine's titled "The Destruction of Darth Dawkins." So that's going to get people to click on it naturally. Okay, so the Aaron Ra one, the heading is Aaron Ra talks Neanderthals, something else, and Hovend in capitals because he talked Hovend. So
I had that one. That was interesting.
Yeah, so it's people will click, and because the words are, when I did tags and stuff like that, I've got Ra and Hovend. So someone watches an Aaron Ra versus Hovend, mine will come up as a suggested. That's all it is. But the way the algorithm works is if people click on it and people see it, YouTube goes, okay, well, this is interesting content that people want to see, so we're going to show more people.
I was just pointing out that one that is not as commonly known is that you do get bonuses in the algorithm if you bring people to the platform. So if I'm browsing and I click on a recommended video for you, yes, that gives points to your video. But if I actually turn on my YouTube app because I've seen, hey, Atheist Pastor is live, that gets more points because that's like they value that more.
And also, I pick the time. So say if I put something on Twitter, most of the people who follow me on Twitter are Northern Hemisphere, so Europe and the US. So I'll time my tweets for that. Whereas, on Facebook, because most of the people on Facebook are on the good side of the planet, I'll do it that way. So it's and look, I mean, you'd hope that I'd get good results because I mean, I charge people a lot of money to do this for them. So you'd hope I knew
you want to be able to do it for yourself.
Yeah,
and for other people, you know what I mean. So yeah.
But any time, and this is anyone in our community. I'm happy to sit down with anyone in our community, and free of charge. Like just have a chat and say, here's a few things you can do. Because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the more videos from our community that get out there, the better. Like it's everyone does unique and different content. It's like my content is going to be different to Sam's content because for a start I can't.
He's not making it at the moment.
but your content is good when you put it out. When you put it out, it's a lot more thoughtful and it sort of dives into issues a lot better than I could.
I don't think they get clicks though, unfortunately.
With Manda, I mean, the stuff you put out on, especially the climate science, that's just the knowledge that you clearly have is amazing. It's a lot of the stuff you put out as far as the planets and things go, Jen. As far as, but even then, like delving into like other it's like health issues and things like that. I mean, that's stuff that I don't do. And Jay, I mean, man, you're fantastic. You know that. I mean,
yeah, you are fantastic, Jay.
Your content is cool. I'm a fan of Jay. I'm a fan of what you put out. I'm a fan of like a lot of the pop culture stuff, especially the 80s videos. I can't believe they haven't had more views because that was a really cool set of videos.
Yeah, it's so funny because the one with my son, I tweeted yesterday, I think it was, hit 333 views. I'm halfway to the magic number on that one. But my one where I did the 80s movies hits, it's got like 40 views on it. Yeah. So me and my son actually he's going to pick one or two songs of the music that he listens to, and we're going to listen to, and I'll react to the stuff that he listens to, because he listens to some weird alternative crap.
What did he listen to then?
On the video. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
No, I am already. I'm thinking.
I don't know the names of a lot of it. It's like one of them is what is that one? Crap! I can't think what the hell it's called right now.
Is it hip hop or dance music you listen to?
Oh no, alternative.
Oh, so it's alternative, right? Okay, yeah. So
alternative and just weird stuff.
Speaking of weird stuff, I get my new computer next week, which means that all you people who are not from Australia get to do the reactions to Australian music. It's coming up.
I've been waiting for this for a while, so.
Yeah, but I haven't had the computer to run it. So
no, I know. I understand why. I'm just saying. I'm excited.
Incidentally,
don't get your hopes up. If it's just like a small fanfare, then there's not much.
I've found some JBeth Taylor. I have found 99 Reasons JBeth Taylor. That's getting a run. So we're going to bring out all especially the 90s pop. I want to say.
Do we have to?
Yeah. Deborah Conway's Only the Beginnings coming out. I've got. I think you can ring my bell. Melissa Couts has to.
No.
No. Sorry, who did ring my bell? That was Melissa. Melissa did ring my bell. Read My Lips was Melissa Couts. Oh God, I can't remember. You know what? We're going to find out. I'll even get some Hey Mona going. So for all the Aussies, Lissy Lou saying Girlfriend, absolutely Girlfriend will get a run in there. Funny story with that band, but I'll fill you all in later.
I can't give you a preview. One of the videos I'm going to be working on, I'm trying to get my son involved with that one too, is we're going to look at the Oscar winners for the Song of the Year from 1934 all the way up to 2019, I think.
Oh wow!
The songs.
That's a decent number of songs to do.
It's only like 10 minutes long. They're really short clips.
How are you going to make sure you don't get hit again?
Because they're really short clips. I'm talking 2 or 3 seconds long. They're not very long.
Would the first one be from The Wizard of Oz?
No, actually, it's 1934. I think is the first one. I can't remember right off the top of my head. It's like The Contradiction or something like that is the name of the song.
Wizard of Oz won an Emmy.
No, I was just thinking for the.
Yeah,
I thought it won something. Did you say an Emmy?
No, Oscar.
Oh,
Oscar. Sorry, I meant Oscar.
Yeah, I thought it did win an Oscar. The Wizard of Oz. I'm not sure.
So it's just been confirmed in the chat. Melissa Couts did read my lips. Who did ring my bell? That's the one I want to know. It's ring my bell.
That's what Google's your friend for.
Yeah, but I'm trying to talk. Yeah, I don't want to be rude, but I'm going to now. So yeah,
Anita Ward.
Colette.
Who?
Anita Ward.
No, I think Anita Ward did the cover. Colette did the original. That's what
1979.
Oh, it's going to be.
That would be the original then.
Oh, hang on! Don't tell me that Colette was a cover.
She's a cover girl. That makes it even worse.
That's that Daryl Braithwaite didn't originally do the horses. That's not an Australian song. Our national anthem is from
Oh,
what's Rob doing? Yeah, I just revealed that the horses wasn't Australian. Rob stormed off, and that was it for that. So
you've upset him now.
That's it.
You'll have to concede that the Earth is... No, we're not talking about that.
It's all right.
1934, the song was The Continental from The Gay Divorce. Was the name of the song.
Oh, okay.
That was the first...
They had a movie in 1934 called The Gay Divorce. Oh, that kind of done it well.
Christian Wright knew even back in 1934 that if you let those gays get married, they're going to divorce.
Yeah.
They knew. The gay
1934 through 2018.
Obviously, gay meant something very different back then to what.
Yeah.
But, it's like in the Flintstones.
Everyone was happy and gay back then.
Yeah. Well, hey, most gay people I know are happy, so maybe it still applies. Well, actually, I know a few miserable people, but there's miserable people everywhere. So you get that.
There are miserable people in all walks of life.
Oh, there are.
Me said Jar Jar Binks. That's for Jeff.
Oh no! Don't start doing that voice, Jay. No, she's had enough of that.
That was it.
No, I know.
What I am going to do is I will wrap the stream up in a minute because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, and if I don't wrap it up now, we'll go for 3 hours.
We might start talking shit.
Yeah, and Dave might get upset with you too if you did that.
You never know. Stranger things have happened. So let's, everyone after this go across to Dave's stream. Dave, make sure you put the link in the chat. So anyone who is here, go to Dave's stream after. It's always good fun. Dave's questions, highly recommended. So
critical questions.
It's always fun. There's always something different and interesting. Every time I tune in, there's a few I'll go, ooh, this could go bad, and then there's a few that I go, this is going to be sensational. So it's always interesting.
And it never goes the way you think it's going to go. I mean, it's the same. It's the same for Dave. He thinks this question's going to go on for ages, and we all go, yes, and it's over.
Yeah.
And he'll ask this question. He thinks we're all going to give yes or no answers, and it goes on for 30 minutes. It's totally unpredictable.
That's it. Always fun. Sam, what's coming up on your channel? I know that you haven't been doing anything for a while, but come on, man, we need some content. I need my fix of Sam. I need your deep thinking.
I'm in a block at the moment, so I don't know. It's
he's got lots of content on Twitch.
Yeah, so I'm doing lots of Twitch stuff, which I know is not the same. But yes, you can find me on twitch.tv/VagrantSam, I think. I don't know if there's a dash or not, actually. I'm really good at this. But wait, there's links. Never mind. Thank you, Dave.
We love you, Dave.
I'll be honest. Part of it I'll blame on. While yes, I'm working at home, and theoretically that gives me more time. It also means I've had a lot more screen fatigue the last couple of weeks, because there's just you don't have the coffee breaks where you go and talk to someone, you get out. And so it's been harder to sit in front of a computer and focus, which is not as true to sit at the computer and just zone out and play a video game. So we'll see as things start to return to normal. And I want to film something. I need to find the inspiration.
Sensational. Amanda, shill away.
She can't. She doesn't know how.
I'm an atheist. That's it.
It's all that needs to be said. Mic drop.
Come on, you got stuff coming up on your channel. I know you've got stuff coming up on your channel.
I don't for a change, actually. So what is happening?
I'm doing Breaking Bad with Jeff tomorrow. Shut up, Jay. And we have Eric Murphy on Living Critically on Sunday night.
That's fun. I'm looking forward. Eric's one of the nice guys in the community. Genuine, what you see is what you get with Eric.
Is that Sunday your time?
Yeah, Sunday at 9
Monday morning.
11 a.m. Monday for us.
So
who's next? Bobby, you don't have a YouTube channel, but we're getting you on to talk conspiracies with Jay at some point.
Hopefully.
We'll organise that after, because that actually after tonight maybe we'll get you two talking serial killers. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's, just don't have too much in common. Otherwise, I'll get jelly. So we don't want that. But
do serial killer versus serial killer. Who would win in a fight? That'd be an interesting series.
Whoa.
Actually. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'd have to think about that one.
No, I can't just answer off the top of my head. I'd have to think about that one.
Well, I can think.
Yeah,
of
because you'd have to define parameters, really.
yeah, I was going to say I could help with that.
It's not just a case of like killing the most. It's you've got to take a lot more into consideration. So yeah, it's
Prep
hard
time, battle prowess, access to tools. That'd be interesting.
I think we've got a new. I think we've got a new series out of that.
Shame I can't do that for my own fucking content. Anyway.
I'm thinking.
Serial
deathmatch. If you want to just right off the top of my head, I'd have to go with Robert Acala. I have Ted Bundy, the Werewolf of Russia. I mean,
Who's that? I never heard of that one.
Those three alone are just brutal.
Yeah,
so
you know what? There's a who would win. I'm thinking a bit of a knockout could be on. We'll talk about that after. Actually, it's Will Ted Bundy hold the title, sort of thing. It's I mean the only serial killers I can think of.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes. Well, you know what? I think you can pay $200 to get Bruce Buffer to do a voice for you.
Is it only $200?
I think. I saw it, and it was like.
I don't think he's got much going on, Jay.
No, he's got
if he can get $200 just to say that, he'll be fine.
I can just see fighting out of the red corner. Ted, or Ted.
It's time.
Absolutely. We'll see if we can make that happen. Oh dear, Jen, you've always got interesting stuff on your channel.
Okay. I'm Jen for Jen's Little Corner. I do debunking.
I was just saying you've always got stuff. I wasn't going to let you.
Oh, screw you.
You don't get
I do debunking LGBTQ stuff and things like that. So
you're still debunking the LGBT community? You're not a fan?
No, I'm not debunking the LGBTQ community. I debunk pseudoscience and stuff like that. I talk about things in the LGBTQ community. I talk about science. I have some interesting stuff coming up. Yeah, quite right. I have my show tomorrow is a discussion on feminism, history of, and where it's been and where it's going. I got some brilliant guests on that, including Bionic Dance, Katie Montgomery, Hissy is on there, and Julie, the voice, is coming on as well. So that should be really good. And later this month, Navadia and I are interviewing Dr. Karl Krusniski.
Dr. Karl.
So that should be brilliant and something to keep an eye out for people, because that is going to be absolutely amazing. I realize everybody who's not Australian is going, who the fuck is that? But yeah, basically think an Australian version of Brian Cox.
Oh, okay.
I would have said like a Bill Nye.
Or Bill Nye. Yeah, actually, Bill Nye is probably a better example. Bill Nye is probably a better example in that sense. Yeah, he's a big name science communicator in Australia. He was a big influence to me in getting into math and science and stuff like that. Sorry?
That's why you're fangirling so hard.
Oh, yeah. I got to speak to him on the phone. I am just over the top about it, and I realize I am, but he was a big influence on me growing up and everything. So, yeah, Mero and I are both fangirling over this, and it should be something big.
Oh, God, Mero would be massively fangirl.
Mero's so jealous that I spoke to him on the phone.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think it'll be worth watching just to see Mero fangirl the shit out live.
Oh, yeah, because I've already spoken to him, so I should be calm by then.
Mero's going to be like a big girl.
Yeah, we are so looking forward to that. That's going to be so much fun.
Jay, what's going on with you? What's happening on the Nevermore Tavern this week?
Well, I have words. I released a video this morning talking about the Michigan protests. What's going on? They're protesting the lockdown in Michigan because the Republican Senate and the House both decided to drop the lockdown, and Gretchen Wilson, our governor, said no, and extended it through the 30th. So they had a bunch of people with like death to the tyrant signs and carrying automatic weapons, protesting at the Capitol. Yeah, so go check that one out. It's stupid. I understand them wanting to protest. I get that, but why did you have to bring your guns? If you're not going to use them, you're not being attacked. There was no reason for all these armed people to show up at the Capitol to protest being locked down. But I go into that in the video.
It's a really good video. Everyone should go watch that.
I haven't seen the video, but I'm just going to come out and say right now, those people are dickheads.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
very definitely.
I mean, it's not that fucking hard. There's a virus out there that is killing a lot of people. I mean, you've had 60,000 deaths in the US. 60,000. The spread of the virus in the US has been astronomical because people want their freedom. They want to be able to go out and that's fine. You can have your freedom, but what really pisses me off is it's not your freedom that's at stake. It's other people's lives. It's everyone else that you can infect. When you go to those church gatherings, it's the old lady that's sitting up the front that's going to die, not you. And that really just aggravates the shit out of me. And for these assholes to be storming in a mass group while we've got this fucking pandemic going on is an absolute joke. What we've done here is we locked down. We've all suffered through it. And guess what? Things are starting to open up, not because we've protested, but because we've basically knocked the thing on the head. Like in my state, okay, we've got 7.5 million people in my state. We had 2 new cases yesterday. 2.
We had 1,300.
Queensland, we're down to, I think, a couple of hundred have active cases, and we get between 0 and 2 cases a day.
Yeah. I think we're even doing better than you are.
If Michigan was a country... If Michigan was a country, it would rank 14th in the world in confirmed coronavirus cases. We've got over 41,000 confirmed cases.
People still want to go out and basically allow themselves and their family to be infected. People don't understand that this is a disease that is killing people at a ridiculously large rate. I mean, they don't lock down entire economies on a whim, or because they want your tax file number. This is a big deal. It baffles me that people. I get that people have a little bit of concern with the government, and there's a lack of trust with the government. We took the attitude straight up that, you know what, we're just going to go with it. We're going to ride it out. If it takes 6 months, if it takes 12 months, at the end of it, we're going to come out of it. We're going to come out of it healthy, and we're going to know that our loved ones aren't infected. So sorry, I completely took over what you were saying there, Joe.
No, that's fine.
Sorry, it bugs the shit out.
That's damn near what I said in the video. Really, I mean, it's not about your freedom; it's about that other person. You know, it's not about what you can and can't do; it's whether or not you're going to get somebody sick. You know, and chance for them to die. I mean, just look at what happened with the Spanish flu on its second go round. When it re-flared back up, it was worse than the first time. You know, we don't want that happening. But like I said, go watch the video. I explained the whole thing. It's about 10 minutes long. Saturday night, I've got Ed, the grumpy old dude, will be joining me for his meet and greet, and then we're doing a facepalm factor at 9 p.m. I got a couple ideas of what I want to do. I'm going to hash them down and fix it tonight. So we got an actual topic for Friday. So anybody that wants in, let me know. Facepalm Factor, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Should be fun. Yeah. Other than that, I said we're going to work on that video with my son. And then soonish, I don't know when soonish, because like Sam, I'm suffering from screen fatigue. Like I sat down a couple times last night to do a video and I just couldn't get into it. But then I seen that article about the Michigan protesters. I'm like, no, I got to say something. But what I have been doing is I got now over almost 60 hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, that game is so good. There's so much to do in there.
Oh, I've just picked up Madden 20. That's my complete fix at the moment for sport.
Yeah, I picked up the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Ultimate Edition, so it's got everything on the PlayStation Store for like $26. Normally it's like $90. I'm like,
I have to go back playing Battlefront 2 now. Star Wars Battlefront 2, that is.
But like I said, yeah, just that's pretty much it. If I can get around to it, the camper video will come out soon, hopefully. I've got a whole bunch of, because what I went through and I did a bunch of research, just so you guys kind of understand what's going on, why it's taking so long. Is I did a bunch of research and then I went into YouTube and I found a whole bunch of interviews with Kemper, and that's the one thing with Kemper, he loves to talk.
It was a lot, yeah.
So to narrow down what I want put in the video and what I don't want is really hard to do because I've got rare interviews, I've got the popular interviews, so it trying to figure out what's going on and what I want to put in is kind of crazy. So it's taken a lot of time. So
when it comes out.
Well, I've got. I guess we'll end it there. I've got obviously heaps coming up actually at the moment. So we've got Eric Murphy on Monday at 11 o'clock my time. So which is Sunday night for those of you in the US. That'll be over on Mama Atheist channel, and then if I'm allowed to, I'll do the mirror.
You're allowed to.
It'll go either Tuesday or Wednesday night on this channel, so keep an eye out for that. I'm also going to be in the next couple of weeks launching what's going to be the Atheist Pastor podcast, which is just more me having one-on-one conversations. It was originally going to be something that we call community conversations, but it's going to be more of a podcast style thing, and it'll probably evolve over time, but that's coming out soon. And yeah, I'm always popping up on someone's channel. I'm always, I'm a bit of a love to see my face on a screen. So what can I say? You'll probably see.
Well, it's much better that you're
video horse.
Yeah, now that the hair's grown back, I can do it. I have to hide away.
Are you going to shave it again, Chris?
You know what? The greatest thing in the world happened today. I went up to the shops and I saw Sam the barber. I was so happy to see Sam the barber. For those who don't know, Sam the barber, I'm pretty sure he's Turkish. He speaks about 2 words. He probably speaks a lot of English, but you go in there, he just is yes, no, good. That's it. But you know what? It's the best thing. Bobby, I've got to take you there. Is he in Crown Street Mall? You'll love Sam the Barber. He's sensational. Absolutely.
We'll check it out. When
my
hair goes back.
Yeah, well, no, he does. I just got the beard done today. It was great. It was just everything got neatly lined up and wonderful. I didn't have to do it myself, and even better, now I've got an excuse to not let Lissy absolutely anywhere near my hair ever.
Oh, he goes to blame Lissy again.
Stop.
Yeah. So. Stop. Lissy's mother was a hairdresser. Lissy is not one, but I love her.
Oh.
I do want to say that I'm really looking forward to talking to Bobby about his conspiracies. So we need to get that set up.
Absolutely. That's. I think that'll be good because I know when you and Nanda spoke, and I won't talk about it too much, just so I don't give either of you any more PTSD. I'll. Chill out, cranky bastard, bloody Scotsman. But there was a lot of things that got delved into, and I was like, "This is Jay.
I know, yeah.
Jay." But Jay had to be sick at the time. Damn it.
Yeah. I did watch it though. I did go back and watch it.
So I think there's some really interesting conversations. We'll tee that up.
I've jumped about all over the place. You know what I mean? So, but that's where my brain goes sometimes.
That's all right.
Well, see, that's the thing is I'm really good at keeping it on one subject until that subject's done.
Yeah, okay.
So there won't be a whole lot of jumping around.
No.
We'll try to get through as much as possible, but just beware that I like to stick to one subject and don't like to bounce around. So that's what I've heard makes me a good moderator is because I like to keep it on track.
I thought it was that you were actually nice to Darth Dawkins when I think we were all face palming at a lot of his stuff, and the fact that you didn't. I could see, and you afterwards, after the whole thing was over, you just absolutely wet yourself laughing.
Oh man, it was so funny.
You held it together, and I can sort of see. I can imagine the insides of your cheeks. I can just see him getting bitten at the time. And I'm just like, Jay, you're doing really well here.
It was hard to keep my mouth shut because it was rough. There was things I want to just go.
We should get Darth back for a round 2. I could do with another good ranking video.
Oh no, he says I'm a horrible moderator.
No, but at the time, and he left comments and what a good moderator you were and how fair you were. It was only afterwards that after everyone told him that he lost the debate. Even in his own Discord, they were telling him he lost the debate, which I thought was great. It's then all of a sudden it was your fault. So the burden got shifted. So nothing worse than a poor loser.
Yeah.
Gary, you're a poor loser, buddy. Not Gary in the chat. We're Dustin. Gary, we like you. All right, so on that note, I will end it here. Obviously, Math Pig is the man who is in control, so I'm hoping that when I do the Math Pig's onto it. Otherwise, you might see what we talk about after the show goes off air, which is where we just whinge about all the people in the chat. So, yeah, don't worry about that. So, everyone, thank you for tuning in. We've gone over 2 hours. A lot of people who have been here since the start. Obviously, everyone here has been since the start. So, thank you very much. Make sure you go over to Dave's channel. Definitely head over to Dave's channel. Critical Questions is always a hell of a lot of fun. And you always get some interesting answers. So on that note, thank you, everyone. Have a good night, good day, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever the hell it is, wherever the hell you are on this beautiful planet. See you later.
My friends.
Take care.
Bye.